All right, everybody. How you doing? Glad to have you with us. Let's see here. Looks like my video is not doing great today, so let's try and configure that real quick. Whoops. There we go. Let's hope that works. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. Excited to have you with us today. Today, we are talking about a really important topic called wholetailing. One question I'm wondering, how many of you even heard of this topic before? If so, type it in the comments. I'd like to know what you know about it and what it is. We'll have a great discussion on it. But by the end of today, what you're going to learn is what is wholetailing, how it works, when you should use it, when you should not use it, when there are situations that you just shouldn't use it. So the show is for entertainment purposes only. Before you make any financial moves, consult with a real estate professional, attorney, CPA, or other professionals in the expert subject matter. Everyone's situation is different, and there's no one-size-fit-all guaranteed approach for all investors. DHA may receive payments for sponsorships, guest forms, books, giveaways, items, discounts, or other remediations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Please comment. Let me know your first name and the city that you're investing in, city and state that you're investing in. Appreciate you, so many of you being with us, and look forward to that. Even if you're listening to the recorded version of this, please put it in the comments, your state you're investing in. We use this to create new content and look at different areas. It can be really helpful. So, Mr. Rogers, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being here, Mr. Rogers. Appreciate it. Excited to have so many of you with us today. If you're watching this recording, you can join us live. Which is what we're doing right now. But the live version, you can ask questions, interactions, make sure you get feedback, put comments, which I love hearing. So please put your comments, put your feedback, put your questions. I want to make sure you get everything you need to out of this session today. Anthony, yes, loud and clear. Wholetailing is wholesaling and partial rehab. All right, Anthony. Yeah, we're going to get right into this. I'm excited. Have you ever done it before, Anthony? That's what I'd like to know. Free swag. That's how we start every show. Today, we got a free swag giveaway. This is what we're giving away. So our winner for last week's winner is getting our sports water bottle, getting our insulated thermal insulated water bottle holder, our gripper. We've got the cool Do Hard Money Stress House, and we've got this awesome income hacker. If you're not an income hacker list, you're going to want to be. We've got this awesome income hacker sweatshirt that's going out. So we'll be announcing the winner of that at the end of today's live cast. We'll be announcing the winner. Now for this week, this is our winner for this week. We've got a few things going out for this week. We'll be announcing this winner next week, but we've got our Do Hard Money hat. We've got another killer water bottle. We've got an exercise band. We've got another insulated thermal thing. We've got the gripper on that. We've got a Do Hard Money shirt. And what else we got in here? We also have a Do Hard Money wristband, Stress House, and then I've got this killer DVD, USB, a financial freedom workbook, or work kit. I don't know what you call it. But we've got this that's going to be going out as well. It's got the USB. It's got the financial freedom worksheets. So that's going to be sending out. This is amazing. You're going to want to get a copy of that. So if you want to win some free swag, put it in the comments. Do you want to win the free swag? Real quick, let me just see here. Trina from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks for being with us. And nope, not yet. Anthony hasn't done a wholetailing deal yet. Again, we'll be announcing that winner at the end. Who wants to win free swag? If you do, please put it in the comments. This is how you earn the free swag. Asking great questions. So asking questions about the topic or anything else relating to real estate that could be helpful for you. Asking those questions is how you can be chosen to be the free swag winner of the week. We're also looking for positive comments. So love the interaction between people on the live. We love the interaction outside. So if you're wanting to earn the free swag, that's how you do it. And then comment on the recording on YouTube. So Basically, once we do this live, the recorded version goes onto YouTube, and you can go on there and post some comments, or you just say, give it a thumbs up and put some comments that you enjoyed it. Those types of things can help earn you some free swag and some high interaction. Basically, being really, just think of it as a dialogue, like being engaged, having high interaction. And for this week, I'll choose one person. Again, last week's winner's already been chosen. We'll be announcing it at the end. This week's winner we'll be choosing next week, and we'll be announcing it next Tuesday. All right, we got some people here. Trina, thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here with you guys. Mr. Rogers, yeah, appreciate it. It's so great to be with all of you. Anthony gave us a comment last night. I'm always delighted, and each week I keep on learning great new stuff. Awesome, Anthony. And Anthony's actually here today on the live as well, so appreciate you being here. If you like these live casts and want to see them continue, I really need your help. We're at 4,280 subscribers, and my goal is to be at 4,340 subscribers by the end of October, so for this month. So I've got 60 more subscribers we're looking to go. So if you're currently listening to my voice and you are not a subscriber, please stop. Go and subscribe right now. It's super easy to do. I'm uploading videos daily. So like here's a video on measuring risk and a video on multifamily is a good investment. They're all different videos on every different topic of real estate investing. And if you'd like to see some other topics, make sure you let me know as well. Put it in the comments. But you'll get those. So please click the thumbs up as you see those. Hit the subscribe button and hit this bell notification, which will notify you. It's a good reminder when we're going live as well. It'll give you a hint, a reminder so that you can jump on. Now, if you're not currently a subscriber and you go and subscribe, please put in the comments that you just subscribed, either in the live or in the recorded. Say, I'm your newest subscriber. That's awesome. That'll help get you to some free swag as well. Do Hard Money YouTube channel. That's the name of our YouTube channel. Leave a comment on the recorded video, and please tell somebody else about it. Tell somebody else about Do Hard Money and the content that we're providing. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to put together the content and to give you a good audio visual. You should see our film studio that we're in right now. It takes a lot. So this is a great way you can help us out. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Mr. Rogers, act like a wholesaler and flip it like a retailer. Yep, you got it. We're going to be digging deep into this, Mr. Rogers. Man, I'm slipping on my words today. Okay, real estate market update. COVID-19, the monthly jobs report showed that September unemployment continued to improve as sectors like leisure, hospitality, retail, and healthcare added back jobs. Altogether, payrolls rose by 661,000, which is fantastic. Other economic data out of this week showed a bounce back in consumer confidence and higher consumer spending despite slowing household incomes and a dip in personal savings. These mixed indicators show that the progress towards recovery persists, though the pace may be slowing just a little bit. So I don't think that's a big surprise. Home prices are still at peak summer levels, and for the first time in late data history, September homes are on the market less time than August homes, while we're at more than 500,000 fewer homes for sale compared to this time last year. Buyers navigate this market and need to be determined and prepared in order to succeed. I mean, this is the interesting thing. Basically, it's hotter now. Typically in September, October, you start to see a little bit of a slowdown. Now, that means there's typically less homes on the market, and as compared to last year, there's a lot less homes on the market, and so that's driving prices up quite drastically. So we're basically seeing that summer peak season that kind of got taken away by COVID for a few months there until it really came roaring back. We're seeing right now. What are you seeing in your area? Are you seeing houses flying off the shelves, multiple offers? Are you seeing delays? What are you seeing in your area? Please type it in the comments. Let me know what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. That'd be interesting to hear. Although the market may be challenging for home buyers, many of these signs are positive for sellers and the overall housing recovery. In fact, all components of the housing market's recovery index registered above the baseline this week, even the supply index. This is huge. So basically, housing recovery, there really wasn't one. It's just skyrocketed up. There wasn't even a need for that. So Jacoby, Appreciate you being here. Thanks for saying hello. By the end of 2020, several million borrowers will have received mortgage forbearance, will have gone 9 months without making a mortgage payment. This is going to be interesting what happens. And this is one of the things, if you've got Investor's Edge, I really recommend that you look at it because come the first of the year, it's going to be interesting. Are these going to be able to get rolled back in and do a new loan, or are these ones that they're actually going to have to, they're going to go into default where you could do short sales or you could do a purchase? Notice of defaults is something that you can look for in Investor's Edge. So take a look at that. I think it could be really helpful for you. Recently, the Federal Housing Administration, FHFA, Conservatory of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, extended the moratorium by both evictions and foreclosures until the end of the year. A lot of people are confused by this. Not everybody. I can evict somebody out of a rental property I have right now. But what's happening is if it's a Fannie Freddie Mac loan, they're saying, hey, you can't do an eviction, you can't do a foreclosure right now. I can do an eviction if I own the property, but they're not going to evict people they have in there, and they're not going to allow foreclosures on those types of properties. So many homeowners have a sigh of relief, but that's going to say, hey, there might be an opportunity here at the beginning of the first of the year, but there may not be as well. So let's see here. We've got a couple of updates that I really appreciate. Trina, definitely a buyer's market in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's kind of what we're seeing as well, Trina. Murtis, I'm a broker. My agents are busy. Market is super good. Murtis, what about supply and demand though? Is there enough inventory, or is it multiple offers in where you're at? And what market are you in? Would be really interesting. Let us know that. Christina, here in Florida, home sales are actually doing very well, actually. Yeah, that's the same question I've got is, hey, is there multiple offers? Is there lots of inventory, or is there too many buyers? What's time on markets looking like? Christina, I'd be really interested to see what you say there. Anthony, I see lots of pre-foreclosures and a few bank-owned. Yeah, it's interesting to see that. A few bank-owned, I think, is right because the banks, some of them have the moratorium like we saw with Fannie or Freddie. And Anthony, remind me what area you're in again. I can't remember from last week. So declining rates, FHA insured homes, July 2020. Delinquency rates, excuse me. So it's interesting because we're seeing these delinquencies, but are they really going to turn into foreclosures is the real question. 17% delinquency rate, Long Island's 27, New York's 27, Fort Lauderdale's 25, Miami's 24, New Orleans 22. These are just something to look at, to be aware of what's happening with some of the delinquency rates. The real question is this going to get rolled into their loan and be back to normal, or is it going to turn into a buyer opportunity for investors like you and I? Buyer traffic on Realtor.com is outpacing record levels we saw earlier this year, suggesting that demand will likely continue to exceed the number of available homes for sale. Same thing. There's just not enough going on. Anthony, Columbus, South Carolina. Appreciate it. Awesome. The current state of the housing market isn't expected to change anytime soon, meaning it's super, super hot. It's in part due to the many buyers thinking that the market wouldn't be as seller-friendly as it is right now. The average rate of a 30-year fixed loan with 0.8 in points in fees fell 7 basis points to 2.86. This has fallen from 3.56 a year ago. If you have not refinanced any properties you own, you should do it now. Now is the time to do that refinance, and don't do any teaser loans. Lock it in for a straight 30-year fixed. I don't know if we're going to see interest rates like this ever. Years from now, I think we're going to be talking about it, decades from now for sure. The Fed suggests the worst of the crisis is over in the morning briefing, according to Yahoo Finance. So some great things that are going in there. Again, anything that's different in your market, or what are you seeing in your market? Jacoby, let me know what you're seeing. Mitris, be interested in what you've got. Mr. Rogers, what's happening in your neck of the woods? Be really interested in seeing what you're seeing there. Trina, you already told me Dallas-Fort Worth's on fire. I agree. We're seeing the same things there. Let's see who else we've got. Christina. You said Florida. Things are going really well as well. So if you haven't made a comment, let me know what's happening in your area. Nationally, projected uptick in the fall. We're seeing this COVID uptick. This is the idea of how many beds, and this is cases that it's looking like in December, January. Lisa in Texas, 28,000 beds available with 3,000 in use. Georgia's got 8,000 for Cliff, 8,000 beds available, 663 in use. Anthony, 4,680 beds with 775 in use. So we're seeing some of these things come down. Coronavirus vaccination trial participants report day-long exhaustion, fever, and headaches, but they say it's worth it. So these are the people that actually got the vaccination, and they're in those trials. They actually got the shot for vaccination. A couple of things I think are pretty interesting here. But let me jump back. Christina, I think some people are taking advantage of some of the prices. However, the other side of the coin is prices are going up a bit. Yeah, that makes sense. Mr. Rogers, the market's hot. Yeah, I think you're in Georgia, right, Mr. Rogers, if I remember right. Jacob is in Houston, Texas area. I'm assuming you're seeing some similar things to Dallas, Fort Worth. I know you're not next door, but we're seeing some interesting things there as well. Okay, at least 41 COVID-19 vaccinations are in human trials. So get this, guys, 41 different vaccinations are being tried right now on humans. Worldwide. U.S.-backed candidates, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. There's some big money being thrown at these vaccinations, and 41 of them are in human trials where people are actually getting shots for vaccinations to see what happens. I say that because we're getting close, guys. We really are. Johnson & Johnson plans to enroll 60,000 more participants into phase 3 trials. And the CDC reports 94% of patients who had died from COVID had other health issues. I think that's really important. And your best bet right now is get a flu shot. That's going to help you through this. Also, immune reaction to some common colds might provide protection against COVID-19. Last immunity seen mild COVID-19 infections. Herd immunity, the so-called herd immunity is the point where the virus can't spread widely because there's not enough vulnerable humans. Scientists suggest that's about 70% of the population. Our new model shows we're about 43%, and this vaccination can't hang on in a community when we get that up. It's not going to be as widespread. So hopefully we'll continue to get there, and hopefully that vaccination comes and we can get back to normal, not just a new normal, is really what I'm hoping for. Okay, U.S. lifts advisory for all international travel. It's a great sign. Kids are less susceptible to catching and spreading the virus than adults. This is really interesting. If you're a kid and you live with somebody that has COVID, you have a 5.2% chance of getting it. By contrast, if you're age 20 to 50, you have a 14.8% risk of getting it. And if you're over 60, you have an 18.4%. This is if you live with someone that has it. So if someone is infected, active with COVID, and you're living with them, and you're between the ages of 20 and 50, you have a 14.1% chance of actually getting it yourself, contracting it yourself. I find that really interesting. So what else are you seeing? What's going on with COVID in your area? What's changed? What are you seeing? Love some feedback on that as we start getting ready to jumping into wholetailing. But I got to grab a drink. All right. What's happening in your area with COVID? Make some comments in here. Put it in the chat. I'd love to get those answered. But let's jump into the main event. Wholetailing. All right. What you are going to learn today is what wholetailing is, how it works, when you should use it, when you shouldn't use it, okay? What is wholetailing? Well, this is what it is. Whole comes from wholesaling. Tail comes from retailing. If you put it together, if wholesaling and retailing had a baby, it would be called wholetailing. Now, what does that mean exactly? So when you get a property under contract, you then sell the deal to someone else and get paid for it. That's what wholesaling is, right? There's a few ways to do this. You can do what's called an assignment of contract, where you assign the contract over to them. You can do what's called a simultaneous closing, where you close. That can be their funds that close it, or you bring new funds in, and that's where the flash cash, we're actually bringing new funds in. That's what wholesaling basically means. There's also the way you can do seller financing, short-term or long-term. When it comes to seller financing and doing a wholesale type deal, you can seller financing and then sell with the seller financing or use that yourself. So that's the whole wholesaling concept. You don't spend money on the repairs. When you're doing the wholesale deal, you're not putting money into repairs. Retailing is when you purchase a property, you fix the property up, you sell to a retail buyer, right? So you're going to sell it to an actual retail buyer. Someone's getting an FHA loan, typically an FHA Fannie Mae type loan on the property, meaning a banking loan on the property. Okay, wholetailing is you find a property that does not need much work, say less than $5,000. Typically, it's just haul out some junk and do a few touch-ups, right? And it will become an FHA condition. So, and then you list the property in the MLS and you sell it to a retail buyer. Let me ask, Tina made comments. It goes up and down, doesn't seem to be improving in my opinion as far as cases go. Yep, I hear you. That cases, let's see, Trina, that seems to be the case here. Yep, we hear you. So that's the whole concept with wholetailing, right? So you're going to do very little and put it on for a retail buyer. So it takes the best of wholesaling and the best of retailing and combines the two of those, and it's this idea called wholetailing. So you get the property, right? And then you close it with a hard money loan. You do very little work to the property, and then you list the property for a retail buyer. That's the whole idea. So the concept is that you get more money than you would wholesaling it because you're selling it to a retail buyer, is basically the whole concept on this. Anthony, that's my kind of rehab. Yeah, I hear you. $5,000 is more repairs than I would say rehab is probably the right way to say it, Anthony. So the goal, the more you want to make more money than you would with a wholesale deal and do less work and take on less risk than you would with a retail deal. But this has to be the right property. So that's the whole secret here, is this whole thing has to be the right property. For you to sell FHA, the home must meet FHA requirements. This does not mean that the home needs to be brand new. So if the house has shaggy green carpet and it has appliances that are disgusting avocado color, that house could sell FHA. Right? So FHA wants to make sure things are in working order, things are clean, the roof has at least 5 years. So if the house is outdated, but it's functioning, or you can still sell that to an FHA buyer. That's the whole secret with this. So you don't have to do brand new. It doesn't need brand new paint. It doesn't need all those things. If the paint's peeling, it may need a coat of paint on it, but typically they were talking about exterior peeling, not interior peeling. So this just means it has to be in working order. That's the whole ticket of this. It's got to be clean. It's got to be working order. So again, if it has green and yellow carpet, yellow stove, you can still do that. If it's in working condition, you can retail it, okay, right? If it's in working condition, you can retail it. That's really comes. So the mistake I find a lot of people with wholetailing is they overdo it, right? They find a property, stuff's in working order, and what's not in working order, you have about a $5,000 budget, give or take, to do a few things. You might need to haul out some junk. You might need to put a coat of paint in a few places, not everywhere. You might need to get cleaners through there, right? $5,000 or less, give or take, is basically what you're looking to, right? Yeah, Trina, exactly. Just spruce it up and then list it and sell it on a retail market. It's amazing. Once you get all the junk out of there, once you clean it, once you clean the carpets, spending a few $1,000s just on cleaning it and making it nice, and without repairing it, without remodeling it, just doing repairs, not remodel, will do wonders. And so the question really is when should you use this? If the home can qualify for FHA, once you have done less than $5,000 work, it is great for a hotel type opportunity. If the home needs a lot of work, you're better off to retail it or to wholesale it. So you still have a decision point there. Wholesale it, let somebody else take it, or retail it and you do the work to get that property done. So you have those things. So it's got to be a specific property. It's not going to work with every single property. So don't be tempted to do too much work. That's the problem on these. If you start doing too much work, you're going to lose that window. That window is I'm going to make more money than wholesaling it because I'm going to retail it and they're going to get an FHA loan. So as long as the property will qualify for FHA financing, then I'm going to do this strategy as long as the work needed is less than $5,000. And don't do stuff just because it's ugly. Like that's an ugly wall. So what? Will it pass FHA? Yes, great. You're going to get more out of it by selling it on an FHA type deal than you will wholesaling it, and you'll make a better spread on that. That's the whole concept on this. Don't do too much, like Trina's saying, spruce it up. If the house can pass FHA and is clean, and that's all the work you need to do, it's a great one to do the wholetailing type stuff. You also save money with interest. The fewer days you have to pay the money, the less you have to pay. So the fewer days that money's out, the less you have to pay. So if you can buy it, do your spruce ups within a week or two, put it on the MLS, find a buyer within a month, close that buyer within another month, you're a couple of months in a traditional rehab, you wouldn't even have the rehab done in that amount of time. And you've got the property sold already, which is going to save you thousands of dollars worth of interest. And don't get me wrong, like we make money through interest, but we want you to pay as little as possible because we want you to make as much money as possible. That's what we're here for. Okay, so then the question was what about this whole chain of title issue? A lot of people have heard of this chain of title issue, or what's called seasoning. Some lenders that do FHA loans want to see a 90-day seasoning. Now, I want to be very careful. My wording on this is precise. Some lenders that do FHA loans want to see 90-day. Not all lenders that do FHA loans care about a 90-day seasoning. And what a 90-day seasoning is they want to make sure the current owner of the property has owned the property for at least 90 days. So what if you've owned it for less 90 days? Well, a couple of things here, right? If you've owned it less than 90 days, what some lenders will have an issue with it, some won't. They'll just let you close it. Some lenders that do have an issue with it, what they'll require in lots of cases is one of two things. They'll require 2 appraisals so they can value the property twice to make sure the value is good. They may require that. The other thing I've seen them require is they want to see all the receipts for all the work that was done on the property. So you can gather up your receipts, which could be your general contractors, invoices and that type of stuff, and you provide that to them, which will show them how much money you're making. And in lots of cases, they want to make sure you're not making more than 10 to 20%, that the property value hasn't raised more than 10 to 20% with all the money that went into it. So they may want 2 appraisals. They may want to get copies of all of the bids and make sure you're not making more than 10 to 20%, right? Or they may want both, or worst case scenario, they may want you to wait 91 days before the transaction actually occurs. But this 90 days doesn't prohibit you from putting the property on the market, right? You can put the property on the market. Let's say it's going to take a couple of weeks to clean it up, and then you put it on the market, and then it takes you a month to find a buyer, right? And then you find that buyer, they put it in contract, and now you're basically at day 60 plus 2 weeks, so you're at day 74. You're only 16 days off being at that 90-day mark, so you may have to extend that contract. This is a minor setback on some situations, but sometimes it's not even a setback at all because some of the lenders may not require that. If they do, they may be good with the 2 appraisals. If they do, they may be good with your contractor's bids. If they do, you can wait till day 91 and just sit on the property for a couple weeks. Don't let this stop you. I've seen a lot of people be concerned about this and say, oh no, what if? Don't let that be the thing that's going to slow you down on doing these types of deals. So the question is, how do you finance it? And you typically just get a hard money loan, just like you would for a retail type property. But you save the money on the interest because you don't have the property, the loan out that long. And you should make more money than you typically would on a wholesale deal because you're taking that direct to the retail. It's just like anything else. If I go to the gas station and I buy, perfect example, if I buy a water at the gas station, it's probably going to cost me $2. If I go to Costco, I can get a whole thing of water, like 52 waters for like $7. So the cost for water at Costco is like 15 cents a bottle. But if I go to the gas station, that same bottle of water is $2. Well, how come? Well, because it's a supply and demand issue and it's a convenience issue, right? If it's there and I need it, I may pay for that. I may not too. So it's basically a supply and demand. So the trick with all this is you have to find the right properties. So you have to find off-market properties. If you're trying to find properties in the MLS to do a $5,000 worth of work to put back on the MLS, ain't gonna work, right? So it cannot be off the MLS. Homes on the MLS that you spend $5,000 is not going to work. You need to find motivated sellers. Some of them you'll need to retail, some of them you'll wholesale, but some of them you can hotel. So if you haven't seen, I've got a bunch of stuff we've put out on YouTube. Probate deals is a great way to find off-market properties. Absentee owners is a great way to find off-market properties. Buying code violations is a great way to find off-market properties. You can go watch these. They're on YouTube. It'll go through different ways to find it. And if you are a member of DHM, you have access to Investor's Edge, which gives you all the tools you need to find off-market properties and all the resources that you need. It's amazing. So wholetailing is not going to work on every single deal. That's really important. It's just another tool to have in your tool belt when you run across the right situation to actually put it in. Okay, guys, our complete system that takes brand new investors through flipping their first home is called the Find, Fund, Flip system. We have dozens of hours trainings. We have deal finding software. That's the Investor's Edge I was talking about. We have access to 100% financing loans. DoHardMoney.com/get started. If you haven't checked this out, I highly encourage you to. Also, if you want to get a copy of our motivated seller sheet, so this is when I talk about going after motivated sellers, this gives you a script, dialogue, things to say, dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. Again, motivated-seller-sheet. Get a copy of that. And they say, but if you have to be making over 10% mark on the FHA, will it be better to keep as a rental? That's a great question, Mark. The idea of the rental property is how much you're into the property versus what returns you're getting on it. So if you basically said, I'm not getting a loan on the property, if you took out your taxes, your insurance, if you took out your costs without a loan, and then you divided what you get annually by how much you're into the property, that's going to give you a percentage. It's known as a cap rate. That's something we do in commercial properties. So if you look, I've got a YouTube video on cap rates. Check it out. So you just have to look at it, run the cap rate. So what I'm basically saying is, hey, how much am I going to get a return on my money? The idea with that cap rate is what return you're getting if the loan was taken out. I like to see about an 8% return. If I'm getting an 8% or greater, once I run a cap rate analysis on it, then I'd probably keep it as a rental, or I may flip it and sell it as a flip. It just depends. And Anthony, I think it also depends on your personal situation. Like, do you need the money now, or would you rather have cash flow? Maybe you need the money to pay off some debts, or you need to pay off some student loans, or you need to pay off, I don't know. Maybe you need the money now. Great. But keep in mind, just flipping a loan is not going to make you financially free. We talk about this a lot on the Income Hacker podcast. You've got to start developing cash flow. But flipping can get you big sums of cash, which can then be invested or can then pay down debt or can help build cash flow. But it's a great question, Anthony. All right. If you enjoyed today, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the Do Hard Money live cast, and leave us a comment. Tell somebody else about it. Check out that. We just put the links in there. Motivated Seller, dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. Go ahead and click on that, and you can get a copy of it. Also, what do you want to hear in future live casts? We've got a whole bunch in here. We just went through wholetailing, determining rehab costs. Please type in the comments what you would like to hear for future live casts. Determining rehab costs, coronavirus investing, wholesaling remotely, choosing good contractors, virtual wholesaling, finding cash buyers, seller financing, contractor bids, determining rental prices, preparing for cash flow, business partner deep dives, reverse wholesaling, finding cash buyers, seller negotiating at the kitchen table, income property, sales skills, closing a deal, all the players, auction properties, subject to deals, determining repair amounts, buying properties remotely, making offers without seeing properties, or something else. What on this list would you like to hear in a future live cast? Please type it in the comments section and let me know what you'd like to hear. And while you're doing that, check out our motivated seller sheet. Go to dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. And you get a copy of that. Anthony saying, my goal ultimately is to have as many rentals as possible. I think that's great, Anthony. That's how you build long-term. I have a whole, if you haven't seen we did a 3-part segment where we did 3 individual live casts. So it's about, 2 or 3 hours worth of content about rental properties. Anthony, if you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It's Rental Properties 1, 2, and 3. It's really good, if I do say so myself. But I think you'll like it. I think it'll be really helpful with rental properties. I'm curious if you've got some now or if you're looking to get your first. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please share the live cast link on your YouTube with your friends and your family. And also check out my podcast, Income Hacker. If I have any income hackers on the live cast with me, type it in the comments. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you being with us on that. But you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. You can also do it on your Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play Income Hacker. Your Google Home, say, play Income Hacker podcast, and it will start playing, and you will, I think you'll enjoy that as well. Trina says she wants to know more about wholesaling remotely and building cash flow. Sounds like Anthony's building cash flow as well. Okay, last week, the week before, the previous week, Joshua Van Horn was our swag winner of the last week. He had the best comments, the interaction during and the recorded videos on YouTube. Our winner for last week, so he had the previous week, our winner for last week is going to be, drum roll, Anthony. Anthony is our winner, and he's with us today. Anthony, thanks for being with us. You are getting this whole swag bag is coming your direction. Everything we talked about with the Income Hacker sweatshirt. I hope you're an extra large because it's a big one. But we'll be sending that all your way. So congratulations, Anthony. Everybody give Anthony a round of applause virtually, I guess. Trina's saying wholesaling, remote billing, cash flow. Okay, should I set up an LLC to buy property? George, that's a great question. If you're working with us and you're a member, we're going to help you do that. So I'd say hold off for the moment. If you want to put rental properties, I recommend that you set up LLCs for some rental properties. So I'd recommend that you do that as well. So I hope that helps, but don't do it yet. If this is your first deal, we can help you do that, is kind of my recommendation on that. So I find a lot of people are so worried about setting up the LLC, they don't go out there and make offers. So I would make that the priority. Just make sure you make your offer where you can assign the contract to make it really easy. So congratulations, Anthony. Yes. Woo, woo, Anthony. Trina, thanks for the props for Anthony for being our winner of the week. Anthony or Joshua from the week before, if you haven't claimed your prize yet or your swag, email us at support@dohardmoney.com. This is really important. We're not going to send it if you don't do this. Put in the line swag winner. Put in your screen name if it's different than your real name. Put your email address and your cell phone number. We'll get the free swag out to you. It'll get sent. We'll confirm that with you so you know it is on its way. And we would love to see some pictures of it once you get the swag. Okay, if you want to earn some swag, you can email us at support@dohardmoney.com. Put in there earn free swag, and we'll give you some instructions on how you can actually earn some free swag. Mr. Rogers says, congratulations, Anthony. That's so cool, and you're on the call today, which is even better. Join us next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do the same thing, same time, same place. Just if you want a copy of that motivated seller sheet, go to dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. Anthony says, thank you, everyone. Congratulations, Anthony. Thank you all for being with us today. I hope this wholetailing has been really helpful to you. I'm really curious, is wholetailing something you want to start adding to your arsenal? Would you do a wholesale deal, or would you rather wholesale or fix and flip? Be interested in your comments. Please put them in here. Put them in the recorded video. Appreciate you all being with us today. Have a very wonderful evening and make it a very profitable day.